Good morning, everyone. Hey, what's going on? First question of the day. Can you hear me? Good morning, Martin. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. I'm hoping that you can hear me. Making sure my volume is way up. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Jakey Bake. All right. Thank you. All right, let's get going here. We got the sound figured out. I'm here in my meditation room. We got a little Buddha here to meditate. Kind of cool, right? Good sayings on the wall. That's right. Here we go. All right, let's get some question. Give us some questions here. We'll go live with someone to start since we'll get going early. Here we go. Blaine, good morning. How is everybody doing? Good morning, Anthony. Can you get me on? Yep, let's give it a try. I will try kaleidoscopes. We're waiting for you. How are you staying productive during this time? Look, I have an adaptable schedule dictated by my values, right? So staying productive and focused. Studying my calendar is the main reason. I'm pushing my team to study their calendar as well. It's not easy. There's three parts of your calendar you got to study. I'm going to keep on pounding this. One is what you have planned for the day, and look at your calendar with a lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. Productivity is how much value are you going to provide. That means you have to be efficient, effective, and statistically successful, utilizing the power of 64. Then you also have to study the blank space or what you don't have planned in your calendar with the same perspective as well. And then finally, the sleep, the habit that we share the most, do that as well. Let's see here, going live. Let's try somebody else. How to deal with bankruptcy in your 20s while doing business. It's going to be a common question, and I'm happy to help. It's determinative upon your own personal situation. Hey, what's
Hey
going
David,
on?
how are you
How are
doing?
you? Very
Good. Can
good.
you
You
hear
want
me?
to
Well,
join me? I'm doing very well.
yeah. I don't know if you remember, but we talked a few months ago. I was a golfer who finished college, and then I was talking about going professional.
Yeah, I remember. How's everything
Um,
going?
Good. Well, I'm back in Germany working as a designer, and yeah, I realize what I want to do besides golf, and I also kind of find human to. Can you see?
You're breaking up, my boy. I guess he's not the only one that's having. Anyway, can everybody still hear me? I know a little Winky. I know everyone. Good morning, Dave. Thank you for the value you provide. Thank you, everyone. Hudson, we're looking here. Give me some questions. Let's see what we got. We'll try to join. What is the topic of today's meeting at 11 a.m.? Road to revenue. So we're going to go ahead and get the 5 most productive things to do at home and get you back on the road to revenue. So we'll talk about how to work from home, how to build revenue, bankruptcy, all types of different things. Open to some questions as well. We'll go at it. Please join me. Text me at 949-298-2905 if you haven't registered for the training. It's free today. Just jump on 11 a.m. We'll have a great training about how to work and create revenue from home. Whether you're an intrapreneur, entrepreneur, outerpreneur, boomerpreneur, any kind of preneur, a familypreneur, we'll get it going on. A philanthropreneur, we got those people as well. What's your take on zero-sum businesses? Look, if you can connect the dots backwards, and in a zero-sum business, that's the easiest thing to do. I think this is a great time to innovate and create in it and grow it. But you have to be able to connect the dots backwards to make sure that there's revenue there. A lot of people waste their time on pipe dreams and subjective value. Here, let's try to go live again. See who's there. It's a good question, by the way. Let's see here. Our boy dropped off. There we go. Working. Hello, everyone. 949-298-2905 to join the training today. Hey. Oh my God, I can't hear you. I can't hear you either. I can't hear you. I think Instagram's having a problem with the volume. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Shake your head yes if you can hear me. I can't hear you. Eric, try to log back in. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Hopefully everybody else can hear me. Let me know, team, if we can still hear me. Hey, attacking thoughts and grievances. That is no way to redemption. Here we go. AirPods, I guess. I don't know. Can you hear me, everybody? Perfect. Let's get some more questions. Keep on posting questions. We're getting them up here. Let's go right through them real quick. Let's go. How can I tell my unique story with least resources through text, video, source, and so on? All right, 4 ways to tell your story. In person, on the phone, via email, and media, radio, print, and TV. The key to telling a story is to be true to yourself. Know your frequency. What does that mean? That means don't try to please everyone on the internet. Don't try to tell a story that'll apply to everyone. Tell your story specific to you, and then make that into quality content by capturing what you're doing, modifying it, amplifying it, and perpetuating it in all 4 of those realms. And as you bear that out, your brand will grow, but you have to be patient, right? Someone told me the other day, they're one of my clients, but I just don't have as many followers. I said, yeah, but you'll get there faster if you're doing that now. So because everything's accelerated right now, everything's compressed right now, there's no better time to reach a bigger audience and faster, right? Double down, triple down on the quality content that you have, the consistency that you have. This is the time to do it. Buy into a market that's oversold. That's as simple as it is. What is the meaning of life for you? The meaning of life for me is to do good deeds. In other words, enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential to be as valuable to others as possible. I have a jacket hanging in my closet. It has no pockets. And it was given to me on my 30th birthday by my dad. A lot of my followers and listeners know this, but I look at it every day to remind myself I'm not taking anything when I'm gone. So the meaning of life is how much good I can do. I'm not perfect. I'm a hypocrite. Gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration are my 4 guideposts, and I forget them every day, right? Remember, life is about lessons. Lessons keep on coming until we learn them. They result in pain if we haven't learned them. So if you're experiencing mental, physical, spiritual, emotional pain, it's because you have to learn a lesson. So let's go ahead and seek those lessons and share them with others and help other people expand and accelerate to their happiness. Happiness is the disease of the day. It spreads by witnessing it. Most powerful disease. It strengthens our immune system. It's amazing. Yes. I did rebuy my mother a house, and she has further moved into with my brother. She's getting older and has her grandkids around her. Do you have an addictive personality? Absolutely. I think everybody in some sense in their quantum nature has some level of addictions, right? We have certain personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions. The key is to transform your addictions into ones that are positive addictions. But you don't wake up at 4 a.m. and burn through the day in productivity, accessibility, and gratitude if you do not have an addictive personality. I'm born with it. I'm addicted to happiness and helping people now, which is much better than other things I was addicted to in the past. Yo, Evan Carmichael, we're up and running. You can hear me, buddy. How about that? The persistence. You got it, man. Evan, my man. Let's see if we can go live. Trying to see if we got sound problems on my live part. Here to support Dave and learn. Oh, I will support you any day of the week. One of the best in the biz out there in Canada. Oh. That's my man. You made my day with that look. You made my whole day.
David, you made my day. This is crazy.
How are you?
My goodness. I am doing well. How about yourself, man?
I'm healthy and happy, here to help you. Give us a question to share with our community so we can all help each other.
Geez. So the question was, how do I maintain my zeal when feeling unmotivated?
Great question. So we gotta first distinguish between motivation and inspiration. Motivation, there's a lot of motivational guys out there. Motivation gets you up, and it's temporary, right? Motivation doesn't last because fear will motivate you, but it won't inspire you. Fear is a soul-sucking energy source, but fear focuses us. And what gets us motivated is when we're focused in on something. What gets us inspired, though, are the right disciplines and habits that clear the connection that we always have. The connection that we always have is to the greatest source of light, lessons, and love that exists. And when we come to the realization that we're always connected to this unbelievable source of power, that we have more kilowattage in our pinky that will light up an entire city, and that our job is to work through our ego-based consciousness. We have to work through all these needs of the ego, the need to be afraid, the need to be anxious, frustrated, angry, resentful, guilty, separate, inferior, superior, all of these things. That's what's creating the interference that we're connected already to this inspired thing. Now, do you have to get motivated to do that? Absolutely. Do we have to be cognizant of the fact that motivation is a temporary state of focus? Absolutely. But until we acknowledge what we're connected to, and then after we get into the practice, and I repeat, practice of clearing that connection, when we get into the practice of that, we can start to appreciate what we receive, that light, the love, and the lessons in everything that we do, including the circumstances of uncertainty that exist today. We can learn the light, love, and lessons of that and appreciate it, which means appreciation is add value. And then here's the best part. It goes through us because we're all connected to everybody else. And so then our next practice is not only to continue to clear that connection to which we're inspired by, but to clear the connection to others so that we can inspire them, not just motivate them, right? Certain things I say are motivational, right? You got to look up to get up. That's motivational. But when I'm talking about a practice, when I'm talking about the world of hypocrisy, understanding that every day we have to find our highest frequency, our higher self, and then realize when we get off of center, when we're not at our higher self, which is every day for me. Look, there's 4 principles I teach. Gratitude, which gives us perspective. Forgiveness, which gives us peace. Accountability, which gives us control. And inspiration, that gives us power. It gives us the light, the love, and the lessons. Every single day, I teach this probably 50 times. I'm probably boring half the people that are on here with these 4 things. But the reason I keep repeating them is every day I forget them myself. I catch myself with my wife, my kids, my friends, my associates going, that wasn't very gracious. Ooh, that wasn't very forgiving. Oh my gosh, you are in blame, shame, and justification. And most importantly, Dave, why are you creating a corrosion or an interference to that which you're already connected to? How are you, out of anyone, not acknowledging, acquiring the knowledge to know that's what we're connected to? So if you don't have the zeal, if you don't have the motivation, all that is focus. So what we do is we lower the bar, give yourself a couple minutes a day, 7 days a week to practice it. And then sooner or later, that habit will move through the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. It'll be part of your quantum memory. It'll be part of your DNA. It'll be part of those personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions I was just talking about. But it starts with understanding the distinction between motivation and inspiration. They're very connected, but you have to come to the acknowledgement of what you're connected to and who you're connected to. Does that sound fair?
It does, man. I just want to say one thing, and then I'll let you go. This right here, come on, bro. Wait, where is it? Where is it?
You got it.
My man, thank you so much. Be blessed.
Anytime. Stay healthy, stay happy. Share the happiness disease. It's viral.
Take care.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. That's what this is about right there. Questions like that, people like that, real issues that we're all facing. Let's go on and answer a few more questions. That's why we're here. What is the biggest lesson you learned working at Steinberg Sports? I worked at Lee Steinberg Sports Entertainment. Most people know Lee, most notable sports agent in the world from the movie Jerry Maguire. Blessed to run that company, to meet Warren Moon there. For sure, the best lesson that I learned is Lee's favorite quote that I have overused. And he always used to say, no matter what we are, be kind to your future self. Be kind to your future self. Lee would always say that, and both of us try our best to do that. And I am so gracious for the opportunity and experience of working with him. The man is a genius. He also, showed me how to smile through struggle, because that man struggled and smiled through it, and now he's out the other side. And I wish him the best of luck with Tua and with our boy Mahomes. He's an amazing guy. So thanks for that question. Let's get back on understanding here. How can I keep, we got that. Sorry, Tika, we got that one on. Awesome. Let me get to the next one. Tips on how to improve in the art of sales. Okay, this is good. I'll probably go over some of this today at training at 11. If you haven't registered, register for my training. You can text me at 949-298-2905 or reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. Either way, I answer them all myself, so please be patient. If I can't get back to you right away, but you can go ahead and register, reach out. Tips on sales. I got, so many tips on sales. Number one tip I give to people, people bound emotion for logical reasons. There's 5 steps in a sale. Separate them all. Utilize your knowledge to do so. 1, remember to stimulate interest. And that's the first thing we do. Stimulate interest. Have the correct collateral information and credibility to transition that interest. And then 3, share a vision. When you share a vision, you're only 20% done. So 20% done with that vision. Now the key part is create a go, no go plan to manage and develop that vision. Manage and develop the vision by trying your best to do what you say, to be a waymaker and a promise keeper. And if you do so, those people will tell everybody else. They'll be ambassadors of yours, and you will have a free sales and marketing team by managing and developing visions correctly. You will not be able to manage and develop the vision of 100% of the people that you do business with. That's also a great sales tip. No matter how much you try and how good you think you are, you're still a hypocrite. You're still on the journey. You're on that journey to be consistent and persistent in the pursuit of your potential, but you're not going to satisfy everybody. I quit trying. I just try to do my best and know that some people will not be satisfied. That's why every piece of business I do is its own construct month to month, right? I just work month to month and guarantee profit. I guarantee value. Once that month's over, we start a new agreement, right? So nobody can go back and forth. It's just simply, hey, have I satisfied you this month? If you're not satisfied for that month, I'll give you your money back, no matter what deal I'm in. And I've been in multi-million and even negotiated billion-dollar deals. And I can guarantee month to month what I'm doing. So here's an interesting question right there by David Russell Burney. What's the best way to find your target market and how to be of utmost value to them? Well, I use an ask and attract strategy. I've learned a series of questions. One series of questions is how I can be of service of value. And it usually starts out with, how are you doing today? What are you doing today? What do you like about it? What don't you like it? Would it help you if? And after the if is something of value that I provide. And then I also ask a series of questions to get to, how can you help me? Do you know anyone that can help me is a key phrase. Do you know anyone that can help me? Harry Chickma, what's up, my brother? He's doing a live event on ESPN3, like pickleball or something. That's ingenious. I love guys that are sitting there at home thinking about, how can I be of service and of value? How can I use the capabilities that I have that are synergistic or supplementary to what normally goes on in order to effectuate value? That's part of your answer too. How can I add value to what you're doing, Dave? Please share my content, do good deeds, and join me on my training. Come on these Zooms, ask good questions. Anyone out there, please share my content and do good deeds. When you do a good deed, you are making room for what you want. You are showing and clearing the connections, both on what you're connected to and who you're connected to. Remember, those are the connections that we talk about: gratitude, empathy or forgiveness, accountability. But inspiration is remembering who you're connected to and what you're connected to. All right, you got that? What's the best method to stop procrastination? I got that one, baby. Move. Activity. Activity, man. From Einstein, everybody will tell you nothing happened until it moves. Nothing happened until it moves. You got to move. And it will grow gradually. When you start moving, activity will motivate you. It will inspire you. It will clean the connection that we're talking about. You got to move. Okay? So don't forget that. We'll take a couple more questions and then go live. See who we got on here. How to become most productive in this quarantine time. I'm going to go through the magic 5 to be productive. We're going to do a training today on that as well. So come join me at 11 a.m. for my training. It's free. Hundreds of people join us, and we'll be on there from 11 to 12 and be able to answer all those things. Oh, Dr. John is here. Let's go live with them right now then. Anyway, I'll go through those 5 after Dr. John. Let's get the famous Dr. John Amaro. This guy's incredible. He hooks up all my friends, Justin and Jacqueline, and I've known about him for years. And oh my goodness, there he is.
Hey, David.
Thank God your volume works. I've had the karmic. I was going to have you heal energetically the volume control of the universe. So thank you for joining me, man.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I've been listening to you and this morning and love what you're talking about. So I'm happy to man get into it. Whatever we want to go through here.
You know, it's interesting because I see us very similar. I'm a transcoder, right? I transcode really high vibration into pragmatic words and money, a lower vibrating currency, an object of energy that puts into the flow. You deal with subatomic, literally, metaphysical things that if you haven't checked out Dr. John, you've got to check him out. I saw the Goop episode, the Goop Lab episode.
Yeah.
He works with everyone, clearing really your energy fields. And it's an amazing process. Just for my sake and everyone else, can you describe, because I've watched it, how you translate or transcribe or transform what you do into a lower vibrating description so everybody understands what you're actually doing?
Well, when you really understand that once you really get it, and I know from listening to you, you really get it, that everything, the entire universe is really a nexus. It's like our lives and our bodies are a nexus of energy, consciousness, and matter, right? The densest part of the equation is matter, which is really just 4.5% of the entire universe, right? The rest of it is all these forms of energy, dark energy, dark matter. So basically the entire universe is made up of energy. Our body's made up of energy. At the subatomic level, it's all energy. And our consciousness is interacting with that energy and manifesting physical reality. So once you get that, then it's just what are the forms that you're going to manifest in? And then you start to understand that, wow, my energy state will actually organize or shape reality. And I have to just watch those two things. What's happening with my energy and what's happening with my consciousness. And that's where I start. And we can get into the more specifics of it, but.
Yeah, it's so cool. How can people start themselves though? Is, I started through really basic meditation and I was so hyper controlled. I was so far in my own way, but I was so determined for one reason. I'll tell you how someone got me started in meditation, understanding theta healing, theta meditation, quantum healing. I went to India, but it all started because I met this doctor who put it into pragmatic terms. She told me I could elevate my awareness through this process of vibration and energy. And I didn't care until she said, David, what if I could raise your awareness about when to buy or sell? So she hit me at my core of what I cared about at the time. So I was like, you know what? I would rather spend 20 minutes a day figuring out when to buy or sell than anything else. This is worth it. And I struggled for years, like literally years, trying to understand what was going on. I've been on this journey for 13 years.
Yeah.
studying people like you. We share a lot of the same friends and mentors as well. But what advice would you give to someone that's at that point where they're sitting there, maybe, you know, they got headspace or something, and they're trying to
Yeah.
figure out this quantum field that they live in?
Well, that's a great question, David. And I mean, the key that I've found to the starting point is something I've come to call the paradox of change. And that's, you cannot change something that you cannot accept or be with in the first place. So you're trying to get to this place that's this better place. And, you know, you're running from a place of disconnection to try to fill this void that's unfillable. You're trying to get to this place that is going to feel better. And that is suffering. And when you just recognize where you are, feel where you are, and finally allow where you really are to be experienced and expressed, whether that's through the sound and moving it through your body, when, you know, rather than saying, you know, I got to focus on gratitude, you know, I got to find, you know, just the positivity in this moment. Maybe right now you feel like everything sucks. You're afraid, nothing works. Like, how's it all going to, everything's falling apart. How am I going to make it through? I don't have enough. And you feel that, and you feel, where do I feel that in my body? Is it in my heart? Do I feel it in my throat? Do I feel it in my gut? Put your hands on that part of your body. Take a breath there. Feel it and just associate with it, and you might even make the sound like, oh God, I can't do this. You know, you let yourself actually be in the experience and have the experience expressed through you. And what happens in this magical thing happens when you're really with something, it actually transforms and changes. Not only it, but you change, because you're not trying to be somewhere else. You're fully associating with where you are. Achievers think they're going to get stuck there, because as achievers, we're like, no, like I don't suffer. I don't feel sad. I don't, you know, I just get it done. You know, I suck it up and I make it through, I make it happen. And the truth is, I don't know if I'm still, did you lose me there?
You just we hear you. That's cool.
Something happened with my camera. What happened there?
The energy changed.
Yeah. Well, you know what it did? It shifted to my, let's see if I can do that. There it is. Okay. But we, you know, when we're trying to get to this experience that we want to have versus just being with where we are, there's no power, there's no energy in it. By just tapping into the place that sucks. So if right now you're freaking out because your business is completely shut down, maybe you have a job that you can't go into right now. There's uncertainty in the economy. What's going to happen? There's all this uncertainty. You know, and people feel anxiety and they feel tension build up in their bodies. The body's going into fight or flight. We're already in this collective field of like fight or flight intensity right now. So instead of trying to just focus on the positivity first and go right to it, you go, oh God, it feels like I can't do this. I feel like I'm not enough. There's not enough. I'm running out. I can't make it. It's all falling apart. You know, you let that energy express. And what happens is it brings you to the moment. And suddenly there's power. There's power in the moment, right? I know you know this quite well. There's power when you're with what is in the moment, not in the concept of what you want that's disconnected from where you really are. So that's a starting point, is just allow yourself to be, and not just be conceptually, but you go into it and you go, oh, F, this, I can't. But you go, oh, no. You got to think positive, man. You got to just, you know, get it together and just like, you know what, suck it up. Take massive action right now. Yeah, take massive action, but first feel where you are and allow yourself to be there for a moment. And what happens is energy's liberated when you're present with what is without a desire to make it something else for a moment. And we're terrified of that as human beings. Like, to just really accept and be with where we are right now is intense sometimes. But that's the starting point for all of us.
What makes it worse is, like you said, that the aggregate of what I call holding grievances, right? If you've studied the Course in Miracles or anything, when you have attacking thoughts, when you have the separation that occurs from this unbelievable source of energy, light, love, and lessons, you're actually adding to the interference. You're adding to the corrosion. And I think pragmatically, when people think about it just in a plus or a negative way of, am I building myself or am I subtracting myself? Mm-hmm. And the problem is, it's counterintuitive. That allowance actually builds and pushing, and you know, we're so sports oriented, right? Fight through it. That actually creates the interference.
A lot of the
Go ahead.
You're so right, David. I mean, a lot of the professional athletes I work with, I mean, they've built their whole life on organizing and shaping their life around one particular thing where they're going to totally put all their energy. And so a lot of times what happens is like they learn, you know, like we are inspired by the possibilities that humans can perform in certain ways by athletes, but there are also the challenges of like pushing through constantly and not really connecting. And then what happens when you stop playing? Or when you can't play and you can't express yourself in that one area, if you haven't done the work in the other areas, you're going to be screwed, right? You're going to be suffering hard. So everything is shaped by our energy levels. Everything's shaped by our consciousness. So if we can't be with the experience right now and really own where we are, who's going to do that for us, right? I mean, like we have to be in the moment. And that's where all the power is. And then you go, you know what? Screw this, man. I'm making this happen, right? You know, you feel it first, and then you use that as leverage to make a change. And that's usually what it takes. I mean, sometimes we get inspired, we get connected to these higher states of energy, we get expanded, and all of a sudden, boom, everything changes in our reality and we take action. But usually for people, it's like we finally associate and feel the pain and intensity, and it gives us the leverage to be like, you know what, no more, and we go forward. So there's different ways there's like Tony Robbins, who have, you know, had the blessing to work with for 15 years now. He's like, you know, there's away from and towards, you know, and most people actually get inspired by, you know, by the massive pain and finally move forward. But it is possible to go to a higher place and get inspired by the expansiveness and the possibilities, which is I hear you talking about a lot, and it's a beautiful thing. And right now, man, it sucks for a lot of people right now. It's super intense. So then we have to go, okay, like, what is this about? We got to go to the higher, and we got to feel and trust in the divine guidance here and know that there's something that's unfolding in our lives and on the planet right now, that we're here for a reason right now. So let's take advantage of the fact that, hey, there's possibilities coming that we couldn't have thought of. There's going to be business opportunities. There's going to be whole new systems that are going to be coming out of this. I know I've been working on the digital side. I'm sure everyone is. It's like, how can we, you know, give even more value digitally, right? So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of gifts that come out of this.
Well, speaking of which, I know that you and I wanted to do exercises. I didn't think that Instagram's tougher, so I was hoping that I could convince you to jump on one of my Zoom trainings and actually have a format where we could test out that, and I'll have Alex reach out for that too. Last question. You know, I believe in two different vibrations, two currencies, two fields that we live in. One, the lower one, where money's the currency, right? I truly believe the object of energy that we put into the flow to get what we want at the lower vibration is money. That's why so many people are disruptive right now that are in this state of negativity. But there's also the higher realm where faith, you know, faith is the currency. To me, you talked about that divine inspiration. So faith is my other currency. And to reconcile it, I blend the two. Sometimes decisions are made completely out of faith. My favorite thing to allow people to understand this craziness, I know that faith is the better way to go, but I'm too afraid to make all of my decisions like of faith because time is compressed. And I'm like, I don't want to wait for faith to show me this is the better decision. So I'm going to make the money decision right now. And I know in my head, I'm like, this is stupid, dude. You're making the lower vibrating choice. And every time I make a faithful decision, you know, and I don't know how much time it's going to take, which scares me. Like it could be 2, 3, it could be 10 years later. I'm like, oh my God, that was the best decision of my life. And I remind myself of that, but I'm too chicken. How can you help people reconcile that blend, even if you believe it to be true or not? But how would you reconcile the blend from the pragmatic to the ethereal?
Well, another great question, David. You know, in my experience in working with people, and I had a practice where I worked with people for decades, you know, just people from all walks of life. I'd see hundreds of people a week. And then I started working more with entertainers and athletes, thought leaders, et cetera. And I started kind of expanding into people that are super, super high performers. And I still work with, you know, anyone and ever. I've worked with people literally on the street, you know, just like seeing someone in need and just going, hey, you know, and like stopping and working with them. And we'd be on vacations and places and I'd be like working on people and stuff. And my wife would just be like, it's just amazing. Like how, you know, but you know, it's like there's, you can be soaring above the mountaintops like a hawk over everything, seeing the vision of all the possibilities, and you can be in the sunlight, you know, and you can be like wriggling down in the dirt and mud on your belly, just going through the gunk and the shit, and you're really, it's all one. And so there's like, it's just a different experience of what is, of what's possible. So when I know and remember, and what I've seen over and over and over in my practice and working with people, is that you can shift in an instant from the experience of being on your belly in the dirt, just in crap, and then expanding. It's kind of like when you take off at LAX or wherever you are, you're taking off in a plane, and you go out through that Santa Monica cloud cover, and suddenly it's sunny. You were like, this is gray and crappy, and all of a sudden the sun is shining because you pop through that layer. And it's like, that's always there. It's always available. Trust is always available. Faith is always available. Possibility is always available. It's just, we're clouded temporarily by the mind and the emotions and the density and the heaviness of being in this 3D reality. And sometimes, and I think I heard you say something about it. I think it was maybe this morning or maybe in one of your clips. It was you know, that we're just clearing away the kind of the debris from what already is, and allowing what already is, which is pure love, pure grace, pure trust, pure possibility. And we are held and we are guided, and it's just, we forget. And it's just about remembering, what are the practices that help us remember what already is. And that's meditation, through taking care of our body. That's clearing away any of that, like looking at our beliefs and looking at like how we structured our life around conditioning, unhooking our conditioning. This is the inner work that we all have to do to remember what our true nature truly is. And that's something I'd be happy to come on a Zoom with you and do some actual practice around this with people.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be on here with you today. So thanks so much for having me, David.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. We'll set up that Zoom because I want everyone to experience the exercise. And you know, you helping people on the street are like those famous artists that, you know, sit in the park and sometimes sell their art for like $5. That's incredible. And I appreciate your generosity with your time and with your energy. So keep in touch, Dr. John. Where can everybody reach you real quick?
You can actually go, it's Dr. John Amaral on Instagram, but you can also go to johnamaral.com, and I'm launching this, my next free 7-day like fight or flight to flow challenge on Monday. So if people want to get some amazing processes and tools and stuff, they can come and just sign up. There's a link in my bio on Instagram and also on my website. So that's going to be a 7-day process where people can just, each day an exercise that's going to take them out of that stressed out state that people are in and just open you up to connecting to the higher possibilities.
Well, my niece, Jacqueline Burnett, who's living with me right now.
Love Jacqueline.
Say hi.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Right on. Thank you.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, David.
What a treat, man. John Amaral. You got to check him out, especially on Goop Lab. What a great treat. Please, I'm doing a training today. We're going to bring on some guests, but we got to set that up to show you how we can clear your energy, right? Clear the connection to the most powerful source of energy, light, and love. We're going through everything for a reason, and it's bringing unification, right? It's drawing us closer, nearer to the most relative people to us. That's the construct which I've given it so far. What I've learned is that this event is, one, raising our awareness of how powerful happiness is as a disease that can be spread by witnessing, and then two, the great unification. It's unifying the world. It's unifying what's most relative to us. And whatever and whoever that is, it is a process of unification and happiness. And that's the perspective that will clear that connection. Come join me today at 11 o'clock. Register 949-298-2905 is my text. David@dmeltzer.com. Thank you, everyone, for following me, joining me. We're going to do these every day, as you know, bring on some terrific guests. If I didn't get you, Mike Diamond, the dose of all dose. Me and Mike are going to launch something for dose. It's going to be awesome, an energetic experience. Thank you, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.